Hi class, I'm Mr. Morris. I'm continuing the answer key for the summer homework, going into chapter 3, which is stoichiometry. There's a lot in this that isn't directly stoichiometry, but all of this is foundational to the stoichiometry unit in AP chemistry and some of the other concepts that we're going through. So it's important that we know all of this. All right, the first question says, consider an iron bar on a balance as shown. So if we have an iron bar, 75.0 grams sitting on this scale. Rusting is a process in which iron reacts with the oxygen in the air as represented by the chemical reaction below. 4Fe plus 3O2, that's the oxygen in the air, yields 2Fe2O3. As the iron bar rusts, which of the following is true? So we've got to decide which of these makes the most sense, which one's true. A, the balance will read less than 75.0 grams. B, the balance will read 75.0 grams. C, the balance will read greater than 75.0 grams. Or D, the balance will read greater than 75.0 grams, but if the bar is scraped off and the bar is replaced, the balance will read 75.0 grams. So we want to make sure that we pick the correct answer. We want to use process of elimination doing this, and then it asks for an explanation down here, so we want to make sure that we can do that. Okay. First thing, the balance will read less than 75.0 grams. That may sound like, it makes sense because as a bar rusts, it kind of falls apart. But if the rust is building up on this and we don't remove it, what's actually happening is we're getting oxygen from the air and it's attaching to that bar. It might be a very small difference, but it's going to weigh more than 75 grams. It's not going to weigh 75 grams. Okay, it won't read, so it's not going to read less than 75 grams. It won't read exactly 75 grams after it has been rusted. It will read greater than 75.0 grams. But the next option also says that. Let's pick which of these is the correct one. This talks about what if I scraped the rust off. So let's think about that. If I were to scrape the rust off of this bar, is it going to weigh 75 grams? Or is it going to weigh more than 75 grams? Or is it going to weigh less than 75 grams? Well, if this reaction occurs and I get rust on the bar, if I go and scrape the rust off, that means some of the iron was consumed in the process of building up rust. So what that means is if I remove all of the rust that was produced, there's a small amount of iron that will be gone at that point because it turned into rust and I took the rust off. So the mass after scraping it would actually be not 75 grams, but it would be less than 75 grams. So our correct answer is actually C. And for the explanation, we would say because oxygen is reacting with the iron bar from the air, the mass of the bar would increase because the mass of Fe2O3 is greater than the mass of Fe. However, if we scraped the rust off of the bar, it would weigh less because some of the iron was consumed in the process of producing rust. Hope that makes sense, and I hope that's helpful.